kind of town, Schenectady is. Baby, my kind of town, Schenectady is.
Hello everybody, welcome to this special edition of The Beat Goes On with Joe Sinatra. I am here today at the beautiful Sax Studios located in the Viaport Mall, and I'm honored to have my good friend, Mr. Nick Barber, here today.
Hey Joe.
How you doing, Nick?
Great.
Good to see you as always.
Same here.
And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about something. Nick has been a passionate servant of Schenectady for many, many years. He's interested in helping out in one of the oldest jobs ever created, I think, in government, of county clerk. And I'm so glad to have you here today, Nick, to explain your interest and passion for this.
Well, thank you for having me, Joe. I really appreciate it. You know, this came up suddenly. You probably know I served in public office before.
Absolutely.
Back in the 80s, I was in the county legislature, and I enjoyed my service. I loved helping the public, and I was proud to be a representative of the city of Schenectady in District 1 on the county legislature. And I since went into other areas. I became the real property tax director for Schenectady County. And I served in that position for 22 years or more, over 20 years, and I retired in 2010. So as I was retired, I was trying to enjoy life and taking care of my children like we all do, and doing different things.
And you do a great job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I was asked by the city of Schenectady to help them out at a point in time, to become the acting assessor, because the city was contemplating appointing a new assessor, but they weren't sure, and they, you know, the council and the mayor were deliberating on what to do with the office, but they needed somebody to continue to run that mandatory office, the office of the assessor.
Big issue in Schenectady, obviously.
And not a fun job.
No.
But I was complimented to be called upon to do that.
Yes.
Because I was one of the only qualified people around. I mean, one of the reasons I'm in this race is because of my qualifications and experience. It's almost like a perfect match, you know. And I'll go into that later, but I've had a lot of experience getting involved with the county clerk and the whole system as it ties together, developing programs and so forth. So the funny thing is, I said, I'm never going to run. You've asked me before, other people, Nick, why don't you do this? Nick, why? I said, no, I'm done. I
tried to get you run for mayor.
Well, thank you. Other people have said that too. I said, well, no, it's very nice of you, but I'm running from. I always used to tell them the joke, I'm not running for, I'm running from. I had no intention, honestly, to run for public office. Then something happened recently. My good friend John Woodward, who I worked side by side with up in the county, with land records and deeds and tax maps and recordings, and put in the system for the image made online system for all the county records. Worked together with the county clerk, know the systems. He announced his retirement, but it was unexpected. Absolutely. And when John Woodward, the present county clerk, announced his retirement, it sort of didn't get out to the public. It you know, it just started to trickle out. Nobody knew.
Yes.
He made an announcement, but it was late or middle of June, and it didn't leave much time for people to be considered or to say, oh, well, that's something I'd like to do, because of the New York State election laws political calendar. They already held the meetings for the finance committees, you know, for political candidates. Educational meetings and seminars, but there was no opposition, no candidate for the county clerk.
Sure.
On the other side, but there was a candidate, and is now for county clerk, who works in the county clerk's office in a supervisory position, a young lady, and she somehow gained a lot of minor political party endorsements.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before anybody even had a chance to be considered, there wasn't much time. So I'm a member of the Independence Party of New York, and I have been for 10 years. I'm a former Republican. Years ago, I was a Republican legislator.
So Independent Party
Yeah.
is not an offshoot of Republican or Democrat. That's a
No, it's
bona fide
independent-minded, but it's a
I see.
political party.
party. Okay.
And I mean, as we were talking before the
There's a
show
little
started.
confusion with that, yes.
Yeah, if you go to New York State Independence Party online, or you Google it, or go to Wikipedia and you'll
Yes.
put Independence Party New York. The first definition is the Independence Party of New York is the party of confusion. Yeah, and it does get a chuckle, because like, well, what do you mean it's a party of confusion? Because people who want to be independent, which I've moved towards the middle to become more independent. I
Yes.
have many Democrat friends. I've worked with Democrats. I've worked in Democratic administrations. I have many Republican friends, and I have many friends in the middle. Now, it may sound like I'm trying to garner all it, but this is the truth.
Sure.
So I've become more independent, being an Independence Party member for 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got a greater understanding of the political system and the government per se as a whole. So when I went out getting petitions for the independence primary, which incidentally is coming up on September 13th. I don't know when this
13th.
is going to be aired, but if
Okay.
if it's before September, there will be primaries in Schenectady County for certain towns and certain offices. There's judgeships and local town boards.
So that's
And
an important primary for you.
Well, it is for everyone.
Okay.
I mean, for everyone. And this is important for the voters to go out and vote in the primary. I mean,
see.
it's your opportunity to help
Mm-hmm.
determine which candidate should be on the ballot
I see.
that you can vote for in November finally.
Mm-hmm.
These minor party endorsements are important. And if for some reason something happened where candidates didn't get the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to interview
It's true.
or to even throw their hat in a ring for these minor party endorsements, then they have an opportunity to primary
Very
the
good.
chosen candidate. It's like saying, well, we only have one person running, and this is who the political parties are going to pick.
Right.
So you take what we're giving you. Well, that's not the way it works.
This isn't Moscow.
This is
There you
America.
go.
In America, it's the people that vote
Absolutely.
in a primary or,
Mm-hmm.
of course, in the general election. So there should be involvement of the public, the voting public, in these issues.
I like that.
But things happened here that, I was surprised at, and I'm not criticizing anyone. There could be various reasons why, but it's not good to have just political parties by endorsements to choose people. You have to be on the ballot in order to be
Absolutely.
voted for.
But the voters choose.
But the key to this precious right and freedom that we've earned and been given by our
Mm-hmm.
Americans that gave the ultimate sacrifice is to vote
Absolutely.
in the election. So that's a precious right, and that shouldn't be taken away from the people,
No.
or shouldn't be curtailed.
No.
So that's why I got involved, because I didn't want to see only one candidate for county clerk, or one candidate that or many political parties chose without the knowledge of the public or others, or without an opportunity to be considered. And my background just matched perfectly. I mean, I have years of experience and knowledge working for the taxpayers. Some people say, Nick, you held a lot of public positions. Well, I held a couple of public positions as an elected person, county legislator. I was a county director of real property for over 20 years.
Which is takes a lot of effort to do that sort of thing. And
Well,
you've almost answered one of the questions I was going to ask you. You worked hard for 20, 30 years. I know you got a lot of stuff going on now. So why do you want to take this extra stuff on now? Other than I know how you like to sacrifice for helping people.
If not now, when?
Okay.
If not me, who?
All right.
Somebody has to step up to the plate, like I have
Excellent.
done in the past,
Excellent.
in many instances, for this community to which I love dearly.
Yes, I know you
I'm a
do.
true Schenectadian.
Yep.
From the Gazette paper boy to the Schenectady Little League to, Mount Pleasant High School, community service. And what I want to say is, yes, I've had a lot of public service by choice most of my adult life. 90% or maybe 80% of my service is volunteer.
Beautiful.
These
Rotary.
weren't political jobs so I could earn money or these were volunteer positions.
I realize that. That's how
I put in time away from my family and dedicated myself to the community in and out of office. And I'm not one that once I got out of office, I gave it up. I'm still currently a member of the neighborhood association, Goose Hill.
Okay.
I was the president of Goose Hill Neighborhood Association. I was the chairman of the board of the community college, board of trustees, captain of the neighborhood watch, president of the Kiwanis Club. That didn't stop after I got out of office almost 20 years ago, elected office. So my dedication to the community is not self-serving, it's public serving.
And
So when I looked at this, I said, that's me. I matched. I got to do this.
And
I have to do this. Offer myself to the public.
And along with the light of the special edition of The Beat Goes On, Nick is a Roy Orbison tribute artist. And the reason I'm bringing that up
Oh,
is
go ahead.
we just recently did one heck of a show at Johnny's in Schenectady, Italian restaurant on the patio,
Yeah,
to help kids.
that's true.
It was
Always.
a,
You and I have always done things to help children.
We had a ball. We raised a lot of money
Yeah.
to help children.
Yeah, that was the Schenectady Kiwanis Club Battle of the Bartenders. We had the
Yes.
chief of police, Eric Clifford, and the chief of the fire department, Ray Senecal,
Wow.
battling as bartenders to see who could get the most tips.
Who won on that?
And,
Remember
I think, don't quote me, but I think the fire chief won.
that? Yeah.
But everybody won,
That's
because all the
right, yeah.
money went to
Yes.
children's programs, service programs for the Schenectady
Absolutely.
Kiwanis Club, of which I'm a past president also. And you were a Kiwanian too.
I'm
You're
still involved
still
with
friends with
Kiwanians.
Kiwanis.
I'm involved,
Yeah. But-
if you need me to serve, I'm there.
But the entertainment thing is just another way to help the community.
Absolutely.
You and I and others helped that baby Jax, wasn't even from Schenectady,
Yep.
from John, had a rare skin disease. We raised money, $4,000 for baby Jax and his family.
You get
We're doing a
something-
fundraiser coming up.
Paul Hunt.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I believe you're going to be emceeing that, I believe.
I'm going to MC a benefit for Paul Hunt,
Oh, that's
better
beautiful.
known as Little Elvis.
Fantastic.
Paul
Wow.
Hunt has performed for years in the Capital District as an Elvis Presley tribute artist. I'm a member of his fan club, and he's got a lot of fans still. He had a
sure
horrible
does.
stroke about almost 4 years ago.
Okay.
A terrible, powerful stroke that he shouldn't have survived, but by the grace of God, he
By the
did.
grace of God.
And we're helping him. We're trying to raise money to get a new wheelchair for him, because the one he has now is not collapsible. He's got trouble getting through passageways, and he needs controls. He's still paralyzed on his left side.
Yes.
So we're trying to raise a few $1,000s to get a new wheelchair. It's going to be September 22nd at Proctor's
Proctor's.
Fenimore Gallery
Okay.
for Paul Hunt. Yeah,
What are
and
the-
those are the things that do our heart good.
What are the times for that, Nick? Dear?
That's going to be from 1 to 6 p.m.
1 to
I
6
believe.
p.m.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's all part of it, the volunteerism.
Okay. Well, I tell you, I think you have answered what we want to know, why you want to put this extra effort at this time in your life to do something, and because you like to help people, and you want people to have a decision on what's going on in Schenectady.
Yes.
which they will be able to do at the next elections that are coming up.
And I want to give them the best government possible. You know, I want to give them the best qualified, experienced. I rarely toot my own horn, but I think I am that candidate for this particular
Okay.
office, based on my education and background. I have a state-of-the-art management degree. The county clerk is a manager.
Excellent.
Is a chief administrator, not a lawmaker, not a policymaker. When people run for certain elected offices, there's really no qualifications, specific qualifications by law. If you want, you know, the people will judge you, but, I mean, you can run for assembly, you can run for city council, you can run for various offices and not require any qualifications other than you're 18 years old, you live in the community, you vote. But this is a very important job that requires good business sense, good business experience and background,
Which
and
you have.
qualifications.
Definitely.
And I think I meet them perfectly.
Absolutely.
By my former service in the county, by my education, by my knowledge and experience. I put in the ImageMate program in the county when I was the county real property tax director. That went into the county clerk's office to automate all the land records. The tax maps, we worked with them on doing the 911 when Ray Wemple started, and worked with Mark Storty in the county. They took information from our tax maps to help develop the 911 system for the safety and welfare of the citizens, so that they could be properly identified by addresses and where are they located in case there was an emergency. So did a lot of things that relate to what's in place now.
I think that I'll never forget, as far as having confidence in what you do. After you retired, I remember didn't the mayor ask you to help him out with the assessor until we got a bona fide assessor?
Well, yes, he did.
And I mean, that's the amount of worth that you are to the city of Schenectady.
Well,
they know how good you are. I thought that
well,
was
thank you.
unbelievable.
I mean, I was complimented, you know,
Yes.
and I never, somebody
Should have
asked
been.
me to help if I can.
Yes,
You know me, I usually do.
yes.
And it was just a temporary thing, supposed to be a few months, wound up being almost a year. Actually, I said, you know, I really didn't plan on staying here, you know, but it all worked out fine. And I did it I want to add, I did it at a savings to the city.
I know you did.
I did it at half pay with no benefits, full-time job, so it saved the city probably $35,000 at least. So it wasn't any real monetary gain thing. No, I was complimented. I thanked the mayor for the opportunity. I'm glad that it worked out. And Molly McElroy's a permanent assessor now. We helped train her and helped her
Okay.
get certified.
I know you were involved a lot in the training. I know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, look at Nick. Thank you for being on our show today.
Could I mention one more thing?
Oh, sure, you go right ahead.
Before we close out?
Yeah.
Something very important that I almost forgot.
Okay.
As I said before, the county clerks, for the most part, are responsible to operate the Department of Motor Vehicles
Okay.
because of the state. The state imposes that by law in counties. Motor vehicles, since day one, when I was familiar with the old motor vehicle on Veeder Avenue in the county office building, they used to call it, commonly known as the motor vehicle building, because that's where motor vehicles was. Then there were two moves. It went from the county building on Veeder Avenue in State, next to the courthouse. It went to State Street, the old McGinnis building, and I was involved in that real estate transaction. I bought the property and negotiated it for the motor vehicles.
Yes.
Negotiated the parking and the leases for parking and improvements with the owner of the property. But motor vehicle is a behemoth, a large monster of operation. I mean, everybody needs a driver's license, registration, there's dealerships, car sales. It's a busy, busy place.
Oh, yeah.
What makes me sad is motor vehicle is always criticized. And I have great empathy for the employees that work there. I don't know if there's proper staffing or not at this point. maybe there is, I'm sure John had lobbied for as much as he can for personnel and budget and so forth. But I'm going to be working on solutions to improve motor vehicle.
Okay.
'Cause one of the things that hurts me is when I hear people say in the public, and I'm sure you have too, you don't have to agree, but I hear people say, I go to Clifton Park. I don't go to Schenectady. I go to Clifton Park. It's so much faster there. Wow. And I get in and I get out, and it's not as much waiting. Or I go to Ballston Spa. Why? Why do you have to do that? Why can't we have that service, the same service here in Schenectady? My understanding is 2.5 hours to wait for an enhanced license.
Nightmare.
In the 2021, everyone in the county is going to have a 2020 new enhanced license by 2020. That's taking a lot of time. I pity the employees and I pity the poor public with babies and strollers and jobs to go back to and families that have to take half a day sometimes to wait to get this stuff done. And then the worst is when they send you home and you gotta come back again because you didn't have this, you didn't have that. Now, I know I'm making generalizations, but this is the truth. These things happen. I'm not trying to criticize the present staff or the way it works, but I think there's room for improvement. I want people to say, I go to Schenectady because the service is so great and they give you a smile and they're so helpful and I had a problem and they solved it just like that. That's what I'd like to hear.
Beautiful.
So that'll be one of my goals.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, I want to thank Nick Barber for coming in today for County Clerk. When you go to the primaries, September 13th, right? That's the primaries?
September 13th, there's a primary for the Independence Party.
For the Independence Party?
For the county clerk office. So it'll be on the ballot, myself and the other candidate. But I just want to say quick that I am the only member of the Independence Party on the ballot for the Independence Party endorsement. So we certainly hope that the Independence Party, its members and independents will support me. Thank you.
I'm sure they all hear you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Nick.
All right. Good to see you, Joe.
God bless, man.
Thank you very much.
My kind of town, Schenectady is. Baby, my kind of town, Schenectady is.